In a large industrial city towering structures of steel that dominated the skyline, there lived a man named David. We already talked about his life in a previous video in which he had a habit of always being late for work. But today, we have a whole new story for you. David had finally changed from his old ways of always going late to work. Now, he would always wake up early and refreshen himself, take the right bus and walk a short distance to arrive at the office where he would do all his work. David loved his work and would sometimes face challenges along the way. But nothing he could not handle. He was also helpful to others and his co-workers liked him for that. Despite that, David had set an image of himself as someone who was always late for work and had a very clumsy personality. And for that, it was hard for people to take him seriously despite his hard work and responsibility in the company. Time and time again David would play a huge part in the company's affairs, but he never got the credit he deserved because he was known for being clumsy and late, even though that was not him anymore. This bothered David, but he thought to himself that there was nothing he could do. One weekend, David was relaxing with a friend at a nice restaurant. They were talking over things and having fun. Suddenly, David felt a bit sad as work came to his mind. His friend, noticing it, asked what was wrong. David then explained to him how he does a lot for the company but barely gets any credit and how no one seems to take him seriously. His friend then told him that if he wants to be taken seriously, he needs to have authority. David then asked how he would get authority when everyone sees him as a clown. His friend then told him that he needs to get a promotion, and with that, he would have authority over others and everyone will take him seriously. David was happy with this idea. He thanked his friend for the idea, and when they departed and he went home, he was determined to get the promotion. But how? David then realized that he had to ask his boss straight up for a promotion. This made him really nervous and he thought what would happen if he said no. Everyone would think he was even a bigger joke for trying to get a bigger role, or worse of all, he could get fired. David then went to bed telling himself that he will ask his boss for the promotion the next day. When David arrived at work the following day, he went to his office and started his work immediately, which was creating software and writing scripts of code. After some long hours, David was finally done for the day. That was the moment when he remembered what he had to do. Ask his boss for a promotion. He packed up his stuff and went on his way to his office. Coincidentally, he saw him in the hallway, and David, who was now feeling more pressured than ever, asked him if he would like some coffee instead of asking for the promotion. His boss kindly declined and left David there in disappointment. David then went home and called his friend Danny. He told him about everything and how he could not bring himself to ask for a promotion. Danny then brought in a new strategy, which was not to ask but demand for a promotion. He pointed out that since David was crucial to the company, they would not let him go that easy. It was a risk, but a risk worth taking. After the call, David sat to reflect on the idea. He started thinking about many things, like whether he was even good enough for the company or whether they even deserved his skills and hard work. After a lot of thinking, David then concluded that if he does not get the promotion he is seeking for, he will take his skills somewhere else. The next day, David woke up early as usual, refreshened up, and left his house on the way to the bus stop. He took the bus and walked for a little while to arrive at work on time. When he arrived, he went straight to his office with the plan of finishing his work, and he was done, he would confront his boss. As usual, he was finally done after long hours, and while he was still practicing what he would say, he got a phone call. It was from one of the boss's assistants telling him that he wanted to be seen by him. This was perfect, David thought. It was now time. He waited until it was his turn to go in, and when it was, he went with confidence into the boss's office. Before Jeff, his boss, was about to say anything, David let out all his frustration, talking about how he is not appreciated enough and how no one takes him seriously. He also demanded a promotion and said he would quit if he did not get it. Jeff looked at him and then told him that was the reason he was called to the office. For the promotion. He said he had realized that David was responsible for most of the good things that came out of the company and he wanted to reward him with a promotion. He also noticed as well that he did not get the credit he deserved and that he was sorry for that. David was glad and happy. He apologized for talking to the boss like that, who said it was okay, and he learned that patience pays off and he had been patient for a long time. From that day on, David was known as Chief Computer Engineer and was taken more serious by everyone around him. He even got a new office. But most importantly, he learned an important lesson, which was that no matter how long you wait and if you really deserve it, your patience will pay off. This is the story of David. A man who was always late for work and nobody took seriously, to head engineer who is loved and respected by his coworkers. Thank you for watching, and please remember to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more videos like this.